Kraven the Hunter is much more important to the story than you thought.
Light the fires.
Durag Nation, with all the news lately about things that were revealed in the story trailer, arguments over who is going to be healing the world, and people believing they found a big story spoiler in this recent new photo added to the PlayStation site, it's understandable that the conversation around Marvel Spider-Man 2 has been focused around Venom and which character or characters will be hosting the alien symbiote in the game. But you can't have that conversation without Kraven the Hunter, because it looks like Insomniac teased a huge role for him in Spider-Man 2 that will be crucial to the entire Venom storyline. So in this video, I'm going to break it all down because Spider-Man 2 is shaping up to be a true classic. If you agree and are riding the hype train, hit that like button, but if this video wasn't for you, change it to a dislike. Surprisingly, one of the more popular Venom theories, besides the people in denial who still think it's Eddie Brock, is that Kraven will eventually become Venom. I initially dismissed this theory, especially after listening to interviews from the developers about how they decided on the villains for this game. But it made me take a closer look at the character, and even though I still don't think there is much of a shot of him getting the symbiote, I think Insomniac has teased some pretty big plans for Kraven in Spider-Man 2. I recently reread the classic Spider-Man comic, Kraven's Last Hunt, which I highly recommend if you haven't checked it out yet. And I realized it looks like Insomniac is going to be borrowing from this storyline. The first big clue was in the scene in the gameplay demo where Kraven the Hunter is looking down on the harbor as his men, along with Peter and Miles, try to chase Dr. Connors in his lizard form without ending up like Richard.
This one is about 12 pounds, but they can grow to be...
If you look closely, he can be seen holding a rifle. This was a huge part of the Kraven's Last Hunt story. Determined to get his revenge for all the times he was defeated, Kraven ambushes Peter and surprisingly blasts him with the rifle rather than capturing him or trying to beat him in a fist fight, and then buries Peter in a grave he set up in advance. I don't think they'll repeat the part where Kraven runs around as Black Suit Peter to prove he's a superior Spider-Man, but I do believe they will take elements from this storyline, and the end result will be what we saw to close out the story trailer. During our first look at Venom in action, he is directly attacking Kraven's hunters, bringing down one of their copters before being surrounded by Kraven's forces after landing. I think Kraven will observe symbiote Peter through the different battles we see him engaged in and defeat him in a one-on-one fight using the rifle as an exclamation point. Peter, who was already corrupted by the suit, will completely surrender to it when backed into a corner against Kraven, and this will trigger his transformation into the monster Venom form and lead to him going on that rampage in Times Square. Peter will eventually lose the symbiote, likely during a showdown against Miles Morales and his bioelectric powers, which they teased several times, including in the launch bundle trailer, and the symbiote will find his way to a new host that will become the final Venom later. But I think Kraven's role will be to drive Peter over the edge. Based on the fact that Kraven's people also seem to have attacked Oscorp and Harry, Kraven will probably cause the creation of the final Venom in the story as well. And no, I still don't think Harry will be that final Venom, but Insomniac teased an even bigger role for him in the story that also makes much more sense than him being Venom. I'll talk about that in the next video on screen.